Playlist. Hold on the playlist. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Nice to be doing this class with you. It's my one of my favorites. Shouldn't pick favorites, right? Yeah, lovely. Level 3 advanced. Everyone joining. Yes. So the playlist that I've created is at the top of this little thread in the chat there. Feel free to sort of press play on it. Once we get going, I'll let you know. I'll kind of let you know. And yeah, hopefully we're going to start to do these classes every Saturday night, and maybe don't do it at all. So yeah, level 3. Hopefully we'll have a little bit of time. It's going to be a bit of a weird experience for me, having a little bit of time to play with workshop style stuff. I got no real feedback there, so I'll just work with some advanced postures, possibly that I can give some insight to, some things like that. But yeah, any comments are welcome, and I can get back to them later and after and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we'll be doing this every week, 4 p.m. But you know, going forward, we're going to transfer over to the Patreon platform, and we thought, looking for you know, subscriptions to the Here Yoga website, which is where we've got our daily classes going on. We're using this Patreon platform, and this Thursday I'm going to do a special workshop just for the people that sign up on Patreon today or in the next 24 hours, and that's going to be more info to come on that. But usually with these masterclass kind of workshops, about 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours, we get to work really in depth with some really focused postures. Mostly we have a look at some advanced postures. It could be just a lot of fun. So yeah, more information on that. There'll be some links and pins in this thread. Get back to me. We can talk more about that. Much more importantly, let's do some yoga now. So we're going to start in Shavasana. Whenever you're ready, please go ahead and lie down onto your mat. Get ready, get comfy. And yeah, feel free to hit play on that playlist. I'm certainly going to do it, yeah. Hopefully my music isn't too loud for you. So, welcome. Welcome if you're just joining us. Starting in Shavasana, lying down, nice and comfy. Give yourself a moment to adjust. My name is Nicky. Let's take a moment to settle in. And to encourage that settling, take a nice long breath in, a nice gentle releasing breath out. Let your jaw relax completely, eyes, tongue, lips. You start to feel, open up a receptivity to sensation in the body. Open up a state of awareness within your body that's become a little bit more intimate than it might have been a few moments ago. We kind of work with that state of mind, this feeling state of mind, sensory awareness. And start to utilize that sense of awareness in other aspects of yourself. Become aware of the state of your energy, what sort of reserves you've got to give to this practice. But it might be more than that. Just the sensation of it might be enough to become aware of. Start to notice the state of your mind. Observe the pace of thought, content of thought, intensity of thought. No reaction really needed. Just an acknowledgement here for a moment. And then center your attention on your belly button. Start to become aware of the sensation of the movement of the breath. Hear the subtlety of it at your navel. And now become aware of the breath at your nostrils. Become aware of the sensation of the breath, the coolness of it going in, the warmth of it going out. And as you become aware of this sensation that's particular to the moment, it's the sensation of what's happening now, you start to anchor your attention into this somatic presence. The movement of the breath anchoring your attention. And we work a lot more deeply with that. So literally go ahead and start to deepen your breath. Breathe more fully down to your belly. Let that expand and rise up into the chest. Let your exhale slow down. And just start to coordinate your breath. Deeply in, slowly out. And this only deepens your sense of concentration or attentiveness to the breath as you become more involved in the process of breathing. And more than that, you start to create real physiological efficiency in the body. We want to maintain that. So here, start to breathe in for 6 seconds and breathe out for 6 seconds. 6 in, 6 out. Just get a feel for this kind of pacing of breath. But make sure there's a mood to it, there's an attitude to it that's really gentle. You're not approaching to compete with yourself. You're approaching to nurture the body in some way or another. So there's an overall loose intention. I'll leave you in silence with it just for a moment. 6 in, 6 out. After your next exhalation, just continue the count of your breath, but maintain that general rhythm of it. You've got a bit of a feel for it now. See if you can keep your attention on the breath as often as you possibly can throughout your practice. And not just on the breath, but creating this quality of breath that's supplying some form of efficiency through your practice, some form of mental composure within your practice. And this is especially critical to make it that kind of advanced level. And especially when we're going to take these postures, let your breath be an indicator of kind of your marker of quality. Breath first, posture second. Let it be coordinated, keep it rolling. Shift your attention outwardly. Start to blink open the eyes and draw your knees up in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice tight squeeze with those knees hugging in nice and firmly. And in this shape, go ahead and keep a hold of your right leg and extend your left leg down to the ground, straight and long. And really start to pull the right knee up in towards the armpit here. We'll just take one more deep breath here, kicking strongly through the left heel. And then guide that right leg across to the left into a twist. Left hand taking it across, right shoulder opens out broadly to the side. Just take maybe 2 or 3 breaths there, but really try and drop your right shoulder and extend your exhalation. Inhale back up through to center. Left knee hugs in towards the armpit. Right leg kicks straight out, down towards the ground. Nice and tight. Sort of take the left leg, the left knee more out to the left a little bit with it. Just take a breath or 2 more. Again, powerful through the right heel here. And over to the right into the twist now. Left shoulder staying open, broad. Breath, especially here the exhalation, really trying to smooth out. No force to the inhale. Inhale back up through the center. Hug knees to the chest just momentarily, and then go ahead and place the feet on the ground for rolling bridge pose. So feet to hip width apart on the floor. Tailbone lifts up to lift the hips up towards the ceiling. And the exhale takes the hips straight back down. And we keep on going with the breath here. So tailbone leads the movement. Inhale, lift the hips. Raise the arms up over the head, touching the floor above the head. And the exhale brings both back down, hips and hands. We keep on going. Your breath, your movement. Inhales, lift the hips up. And the exhales take you straight back down. Now, you keep on going. A few more rounds there, lifting and lowering. Using your glutes, your butt cheeks to power the movement. The inhales lift, the exhales lower. We'll take maybe 2 more. Move in sync and with rhythm of the breath. Let's say last round for most of us here. Lift and lower. And as the hips come down, nice and slowly, go ahead and shoot both legs up towards the ceiling. Keep the legs fairly straight, thighs fairly firm. Point the toes in this one. Keep your belly button sucking in and lower the right leg to hover just off the ground. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale the left. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale the right. Inhale, lift. We go with breath. Exhale, left. Inhale, lifting. Exhale the right. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, left. Last one here. Inhale, lifting back up. And now both legs lower. Nice and slow. Really gently to the ground. Stay with me. About 5 seconds. Maybe 4 now. Maybe 3 now. They're just maybe, so maybe 2 now. Or maybe 1 now. Or maybe 0. We can go to minus 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and 0. Heels on the ground, feet on the floor, bridge pose, lift the hips up. Interlace the hands underneath your lower back here. Squeezing the butt, lifting the chest. Just take 1 more big breath as you are. Releasing the hands, releasing the hips, knees to the chest, rock yourself up and then roll over the chest forward and look up. And then exhale to really round and arch up through your spine. And you keep on going like that. 1 breath to 1 movement. Inhales dip, exhales arch. There's so much incense in this room. It's like a Cheech and Chong movie in here. We take maybe 2 more big breaths. And returning to a neutral spine. Go ahead, tuck the toes and lift the hips up. Downward facing dog. A little bit of movement to get into that down dog. Pedal out the legs maybe if you like to. Sway the hips if you like to. Maybe 2 more long breaths here in down dog. And then start to walk your hands towards the back of the mat into a forward fold. Then the whole upper body just hang, sort of just dangle. Could catch opposite elbows, could interlace behind the lower back. Maybe 1 more long breath here in Uttanasana, the forward fold. And then gently roll up your spine all the way through to standing. Reach and stretch up at the top, nice and high, nice and tall. As you get there, catch opposite elbows above your head. And exhale, lean over to your right into a side bend. Inhale back up through the center and exhale, go to the left. Inhale, lifting back up and exhale 1 more to the right. Inhale back up, belly stays strong here. Leaning over to the other side. Inhale back up, raise the arms up. Now pause there with arms up over the head. Lift your heels up off the ground, little toe stand. Pausing here, squeeze your belly in your butt and interlace your hands behind your lower back. Roll back the shoulders and then gently touch your butt down to your heels, bending at the knees. Little toe standing squat, keeping the bind of the hands behind the lower back here. Now, once you get down, lift the heels up nice and high once again. Now see if you can lift your butt until your thighs become parallel to the ground, and then bow your chest between the thighs, whole torso parallel to the ground. Fist lifts up and away from the lower back, heels still lifting. Just take one more big breath there. And then drop the heels, fold forward, lift the fist up a little higher in this fold, straighten out through the legs. We take just one more big breath there. And gently release the hands to the floor. Take a halfway lift to lengthen. Left hand on the floor, right hand to the ceiling. Take a twist. Big bend into your left knee here. We take maybe 2 more big breaths as you are. Just sort of feel out the shape. A little bit of movement is welcome there. And switch. Right hand down. Left hand coming up. Big bend in the right knee now. Turning back the left shoulder. Notice that the torso remains fairly straight here. Lower back extended. Breath or 2 more now. And move with breath now. Left big toe lifts or the ball of the foot lifts. Exhale, lower down. Here we go, one more time. Right hand up, right foot lifts. Exhale, lower. Left hand, left foot lifts. And exhale, left hand down. Now go ahead, walk the hands all the way out to plank position. Shoulders above your wrists. As soon as you're there, arch through your upper back, the angry cat shape, butt drops a little bit, and then send your hips up and back into downward facing dog. And we go just like that. Inhale through to high plank. Exhale takes you back to down dog. You keep on going. High plank back to down dog. Rounding, rolling, arching through the upper back as you find this movement. Maybe 2 more rounds. Good, good, good. And next time you inhale through to high plank, pause there, shoulders above wrists. Lower down through chaturanga until you're flat onto your belly. Arriving there, reach your arms back by your side, palms face down. Inhale, lift the chest and arms up off the ground. Exhale, lower down. We do 2 more just like that. Inhale's lifting up, shoulders back. Exhale's lower. Last one. Inhale, lift, shoulder blades back. And exhale to release. Hands underneath the shoulders. Either push up straight through plank or back through child's pose and into downward facing dog. And arriving there, take a nice easy stroll to the top of the mat. Step by step, nice and gentle, feet to hip width apart as you arrive. Halfway lift to lengthen at the top of the mat. Exhale to fold back in. Inhale to stand all the way up, reach up and stretch up. And as you fold forward now, just fold to halfway down, like a capital L shape, chest parallel to the ground. Now, reach your arms back like you're flying. Go ahead, lift the heels and start to bend the knees a little here. Like you're peering off the edge of a diving board or something similar. I don't know why you do this on the edge of a diving board. But drop your butt a little bit here and take 1 more big breath as you are. And hands on the ground, lift the hips up and fold as you drop the heels down. Once again, halfway lift to lengthen. Step back to plank position. We come through a flow. Chaturanga, half plank, bend at your elbows. Pull the chest through the arms, upward facing dog. And the exhale sends the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Now, try and take 2 more big breaths in dog and slow them down. A little longer on the exhale. Return to the sensation of the breath in. A couple rounds of sun sound now. So heels up, knees bend. Walk, step, or jump, top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold in. Inhale to stand all the way up, reach up, stretch up. Belly sucks in tight as you fold back down. Halfway lift, flat back. Step or jump back into chaturanga, bend elbows directly. Pull the chest through up dog. And the exhale to downward facing dog, hips up and back. 1 more big breath in down dog. And heels up, knees bend, look to the front. Walk, step or jump, top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale to stand all the way up, reach up, stretch up. And the exhale folds you straight back down towards the ground. Now, halfway lift, flatten out your back. Step or jump back into chaturanga, half plank, bent elbows. Pull the chest through the arms, up dog. And the exhale to downward facing, hips up and back. 2 more big breaths in down dog. Again, purposeful, intentional breath. Good. Heels up, knees bend. Look to the front. Walk, step, or jump top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold in. Inhale to stand up, reach up and stretch up. Now it's going to change. Hands to prayer heart, send to chair pose. Bend the knees and sink the butt. Feet together or big toes together. Belly sucks in here now. hands to breath in already, and twist to your right into a twisted chair here. So hooking the elbow around the knee, and then really turning back your right shoulder here for just a breath more. And inhale, stand, reach up and stretch up. Exhale, back into chair, bend the knees and sink the butt. Goes the other way in that twist. Right elbow hooks the left knee. Now, check out the knees and see that they're in line. Don't let that right one jut forward too much. A little bit's okay, but not too much. 2 more big breaths. Left shoulder rotates back, peels back, sit the butt down. And inhale to stand. Reach up and stretch up. Exhale to fold all the way down towards the ground. Now, halfway lift to lengthen out. Step your left leg back, and right leg lifts up and out into 3-leg dog. Bend the knee and peel the hip open. Really squeeze the heel towards your butt. And exhale, knee to the nose. Pull it in tight. Inhale, shoot it back up. Right knee to right armpit. Pause there. Take it down to that wrist. Pull it back to that armpit and shoot it back up. And over to the left elbow. Cross it up. Inhale, shoot it back up. And step the foot in between the hands for runner's lunge. Puff the chest forward, fingertips. And then right hand raises up into simple twist, easy twist. And keep the front knee directly above the ankle. And, oh God. And once you get there, keep the back leg as firm as you possibly can. Keeping the knees straight. We just take a breath more here. And right hand down, back knee down, low lunge. Chest and arms right up. Now in the shape, keep the back toes tucked. Squeeze your left glute on nice and strong with the chest. Take 1 more big breath here. And then throw the hands back into arrowhead. Straighten out through the front leg into half Hanuman, bowing only halfway down towards the ground. We move like that 2 more times. Inhale, lift, lunge. Elbows back behind the ears. And exhale, fold to throw the hands back. 1 more. Inhale, lift, lunge, squeeze your left butt cheek at the top. Exhale, fold to straighten out. Now this time, come back up into the lunge and pause. Touch palms above your head and take that prayer behind your neck. Squeezing at the elbows and then starting to lift the chest here. Now squeeze your left butt cheek on nice and firm. And keep the back of the chest lifting, the back of the heart lifting. 2 more generous breaths right here. And then keeping the hands together, prayer to heart center, and then turn to your right to hook the left elbow around the knee. Now in this shape, tuck the back toes if they're not already. Inhale, lift the back knee to straighten. And exhale, kiss the knee down to the ground. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift and hold now. Hands on the ground, puff the chest forward, runner's lunge. Exhale to straighten through your front leg into pyramid pose. Now inhale, lunge into the front knee. And exhale, as you fold back into pyramid, lift the front ball of the foot. 2 more. Inhale, lunge, walk the hands forward. Pause here, pyramid pose. Toes lifted, folding. Might have to shorten up your stance, but not too long here. So 2 more breaths. Back thigh still engaged, nice and tight. 1 more big breath now. Inhale, walk the hands forward. Runner's lunge. Now, right leg kicks up. 3-leg dog, bend the knee, peel the hip open once again, and as you exhale, forward triangle, right knee to left elbow, but keep the right leg off the ground. Back heel spins down, left arm up. Take 2 more big breaths here, keep the leg lifted. 1 more big breath, and 3-leg dog, left hand down, right leg up, and step outside your right hand, lizard lunge. A little bit of movement here, a bit of hip circles. Feel it out a little. I've been working with this little gem, walking your hands off to the left as you poke your right knee out to the right. Super nice through the side body. Maybe 2 more big breaths here. Don't push this one too far too soon. Early days yet. And then hands back through to center, right underneath the shoulders. Right hand raises up in preparation for side plank. Please step your right leg back on top of the left one, stacking the legs up now. Stick with me here. Right hand raises up over the head, reaching for the top of the mat. Now lift the right leg away from the left and curl the right knee to touch your right elbow just in front of your ribs. Kick it out, extend. Exhale, pull it in. Kick it out, extend. pull it in. Now this time, kick out, wild thing. Right foot behind the left knee, turn the hips, lift the chest. Not long here. One more big breath. Stick with me here. Right forearm comes down to the ground. Hips turn over, heels turn over, forearm side plank the other side. Now before you lift your left hand, lift the hips, little rainbow shape. Left hand up. 2 more big breaths here. Left hand down, or left forearm down rather. Full forearm plank just for a cheeky sec. Find the feet. And then walk the feet in, dolphin pose. Now, do your best with this. I'm going to do my best to talk while I do this. So, dolphin pose, pull the chest back a little. Keep the stance long so the feet are a little bit further back than what's comfortable. Now, here we go. Right leg raises up. High plank, straighten out your arms till your knee to your right elbow touch. Shoot it back up, drop the forearms. One more. High plank, hand, left foot outside your left hand, and sit your butt down into a squat. Ooh, Meredith, goat's feather. Pull the shoulder blades back here. Lift the chest a little. 2 more big breaths. Hands on the ground, step or jump back into chaturanga, half plank. Pull the chest through, upward facing. And the exhale finds downward facing dog. And 1 more expansive, settling breath in that down dog. Heels up, knees bend, look to the front. Walk, step or jump top of your mat. Halfway lift, lengthen out. Exhale to fold in. Inhale to stand all the way up, reach up and stretch up. Exhale folds you straight back down. Half lift. Right leg steps back. Left leg lifts up into 3-leg dog. Bend the knee, peel the hip open, nice and strong. And knee to the nose, curl it in. Inhale, shoot it back up. Left knee touches left armpit, pause. Down to that wrist, back to that armpit, shoot it back up. And left knee to right elbow, cross it under. Inhale, shoot it back up. Step the foot in between your hands. Runner's lunge, puff the chest forward, fingertips. And then left hand raises up, simple twist. So keep the front knee above the ankle. Back leg straight and firm. Belly sucks in, but left shoulder turns back. 2 or 3 more steady breaths here. And go ahead, left hand down, back knee down, low lunge, chest and arms raised up. Right butt cheek squeezes nice and strong. Take 1 more extra breath here. Now keep the back toes tucked for stability. Exhale, throw the hands back. Half Hanuman with an arrowhead upper. Inhale, lift, lunge, elbows behind the ears. Exhale, throw it back straight now. Inhale, lift, lunge, elbows back. And exhale, Hanuman. Inhale, back up into the lunge, Anjaneyasana. Touch palms above your head now. Before you go any deeper, squeeze your right butt cheek, suck your belly in, and prayer behind the neck. And in this shape, start to lift the chest a little. Hips can come down a touch, but watch your breath. Let that be your indicator of depth. Don't go any further if that rhythmic breath isn't achievable. Keep it going. 2 more here. As you release your prayer in front of you, twist to your left and hook your right elbow around the knee. Look down for stability. Back toes tucked already. Inhale, lift the back knee up, straight and stiff. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift and hold. Hands on the ground. Puff the chest forward. Fingertips. Just a gentle pyramid straightening of the front leg. We add to that now. Inhale, lunge. As you fold, lift the front ball of the foot. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, fold, foot comes up. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, fold and stay. Pyramid, maybe 5 breath hold or something like that. Back thigh nice and firm. Back heel can be up or down. But generally, tailbone lifts a little bit. Should feel it come on a little stronger through the back of the left leg as you do that. Maybe just a breath left here now. Nice. Walk the hands forward, runner's lunge, and then three-leg dog. Left leg lifts up and out. Bend at the knee, peel the hip open. Give a nice tight squeeze towards the butt. And then fallen triangle butt. Try and keep your heel off the ground. So left knee, right elbow. Back heel spins down. Kick the left leg out. Right hand up. Hold for a tick here. Extra breath or so. And right hand down. Left leg up and out. To step your left foot outside your left hand. Lizard, a little bit of movement here. Don't go too deep, not too strong. Feel it out a little bit. Notice what's good for the body here. You know, much of it just an investigation for now. Just feel how this hip is feeling and this positioning. Sensitivity to the body here. We'll take maybe 2 more big breaths. Now let's make it 3. We got 90 minutes. 1 extra breath. All right, hands back to center. Left hand raises up in preparation for side plank. So left hand up, roll to the outer blade of the back foot as you step the left leg back on top of the right. Now in this shape, reach your left hand up over the head and lift the left leg away from the right. Left knee to the elbow, squeeze it in, kick it out and hover. Exhale, curl it in, punch it out. Last one, curl it in. As you kick it out, wild thing, left foot steps behind now, just a couple of breaths. Lift the chest, push the ground away, activate the shoulder, and here we go. Left forearm comes down to the ground, nice and gentle. Switch the heels over, right hand comes up, hold here. Hips elevating. 1 more big breath now. And right forearm comes down. Full forearm plank just for a tick. Sort out the legs. Walk the feet in a little. Drag the chest back just a touch. And now in this shape, lift the left leg up. High plank, straighten the elbows. Knee to the left elbow. Tap. Lift it back up. Drop to the forearms. High plank, knee to the elbow. Back to the forearms. Drop them down. Left leg up. Now as you come through to plank, step your left foot outside your left hand. Right foot outside your right hand. Oh. Set the butt down. Om Namah Shivaya. Here we go. 2 more big breaths here. Squeezing the shoulders back. Hands on the ground. Step or jump back. Chaturanga. Half plank. Pull the chest through, upward facing dog, and the exhale to downward facing dog. Now, 2 more big breaths there in down dog. Heels up, knees bend, look to the front, walk, step or jump, top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale, stand all the way up, reach up, stretch up. Now, hands to prayer, left knee up in towards the chest, left knee. Go ahead, point this left knee down, send it behind the right leg, out to the right. Curtsy down a little here, standing leg bending, arms out to a T. Try and drop the chest and the butt just a little here. Now, in this shape, touch your left knee to the back of the right calf. Squeeze it in, heel to butt, hands to prayer. Twist to your right and hook the left elbow around the knee. Stay with it. Hold for a tick. 1 more big breath. And in this shape, gently step your left foot straight back, twisted lunge, and hands to prayer right at heart center. Once you've caught that, back leg straightens out. Just 1 more big breath here now. Hands on the ground, a little shortening of the stance, pyramid pose. Straighten out through your front leg. Now, in this shape, let the front ball of the foot come up off the ground. Let the back heel lift up off the ground. Let the chest come right down. Now, in this shape, take the right hand way out to the right, like a little kickstand. Right hand to the right. Left hand grabs the outer blade of your right foot and start to draw your face a little bit closer to your right knee. Just take 2 or 3 more big breaths in this kind of sort of side bending, forward fold. Take 1 more big breath here now. and up into crescent lunge. Hands back through to center. Plant the front foot, just an arms raised up. Left butt cheek squeezes nice and strong. Belly in here. Go ahead and interlace hands behind your lower back. Roll back the shoulders, nice and firm. Lift the chest. We take just one more big breath here. And now drop the back knee to hover just off the ground, keeping the chest elevated, left butt cheek squeezing. One more big breath like this. And drop the back knee to the floor. In this shape, keep the chest lifted, left butt cheek still squeezing. Lift the back foot up off the ground. Take two more nice long breaths like that. One more big breath there. And then release. Foot to the ground, hands to the ground. Straighten through your front leg, half Hanuman. Now, in this shape, look forward. You have to pounce into warrior three. And we'll do a little bit of work in that warrior three. Stay cool, stick with me. Here we go. As you look forward, lunge into the front knee and pounce into warrior three. T-shape with the body. Catch the hands at heart center if you like to catch your balance. If you like to catch your balance. We all like to catch our balance. And suck the belly in here. Reach your arms back like you're flying. Now start to bow down into standing splits with these arrowhead arms. Let the left leg stay strong. If you need to use the ground, use the ground. Head comes down for one more big breath there. And left foot steps back, runner's lunge. Left hand slides a little bit further forward. Turn to your right into Cleopatra. Let the front knee drop out to the right. Reach for the back of the mat. We pulse here twice. Inhale, lift the hips with the right hand up. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, back down. Now, your right foot to the top of the mat. Warrior two. Open the arms. Settle the breath. Belly pulls in. One more big one here. Flip the front palm. Straighten through the front leg. Reach up and back. And as you reach forward, find triangle. Reach as far forward as you can. Right hand down, left hand up. Now, as soon as you're there, half bind. Left hand wraps up behind the low back. Could stay here. Right hand on the floor, on the shin. Make sure the left leg is strong. Your back leg, thigh on, butt on. Maybe you keep the chest just where it is. Don't let it drop. And reach your right hand across your belly for your outer left hip. Maintain the lift of the chest, or at least don't let it drop. Take two more big breaths here. And stand. Warrior two, open the arms, flip the front palm, reach up and back, lunge deeper as you go. And side angle to come. Right elbow to the right knee or hand down to the ground. Left hand, again, into a half bind. Wrap it up. Full bind is welcome, but watch your breath. Let that be your indicator. Keep it deep, keep it soft. Left shoulder starts to turn back here. Belly stays pulling in. Front knee still above the ankle. About 3 or 4 more breaths here now. Now right here on this spot, hands to prayer at heart center. See if you can lift the front ball of your foot, turn that foot in, and find Skandasana at the top of your mat without dipping onto your butt, and sit it down nice and low. Take a breath or 2 more here. Walk your hands to the back of your mat, to your left, back of the mat. Runner's lunge there, up into crescent lunge. Chest and arms raised up, facing the back of the mat, back of the room. And as you get here, nice and slow. Arrowhead, sweep the arms back. Find your balance belly in, left butt cheek squeezing. Nice and slowly here. Grab a hold of your right big toe with your first 3 fingers. Regardless of whether you're going to straighten the leg or not, grab the foot, grab the toes. Left hand up. Start to kick the heel, but straighten through the standing leg. Left butt cheek on, belly tight. Now, in this shape, whether the knee is bent or not, start to turn the right leg out to the right, bow the chest forward, and slowly kick your right leg back, step it back, runner's lunge, hands on the ground. I'm sure that was magical. Left hand raises up, step back into wild thing. Left leg up and over the right one, turn the hips, lift the chest, arch, arch, arch through your upper back, lift it, hold. One more big breath. And just as we've done, Left foot kicks high. Take your time to step it up between your hands. Skandasana to the other end of the mat. Drop your butt to your right heel, just where we were before. Chest up, hands to prayer. Left hand up. Half bind. Left arm wraps behind the lower back. Go ahead and look to find a full bind here. Right arm wraps in front of the right shin. Hook it up. Now, in fact, you know what? You might want to bring your right hand on the floor. You could keep that whole bind, but start to ground your left foot. Pull that heel in right underneath your hip into a squat. Left heel pulls in. You're facing the side of the mat. Now find that full bind. Wrap your right arm in front of the shin. Squatting position. Left foot points straight forward and lift up onto the ball of your right foot. You want that left heel in the ground. Now, do your best to just stand up. Grab the right leg, take it up with you. Here we go. Go ahead and come on up. Standing, lifting, standing, lifting. If it's not quite there, grab a hold of your right knee with your right hand. Lift, hold, breathe. 2 more long breaths here now. 2 feet to the ground, hip width apart. Raise the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale to fold forward. Now, take a halfway lift to lengthen out. And then exhale to chair pose. Bend the knees, sink the butt, chest and arms raise. Hands to prayer, twist to your right. Left elbow hooks outside the knee. Still facing the side of the mat here. So go ahead, drop the butt down to the heels. Have a look at a little side crow here. Hands come down to the ground. Now, they're facing towards the top of your mat now. So I reckon the trick in this shape is the depth of this elbow really helps things out. So you might actually lift the chest up, turn to your right deeper, get the knees right out to the side, and then hook the elbow really deep. So it's more of the armpit on the upper arm. Squeeze the knees together, hands on the ground. As you shift your chest towards the top of your mat, squeeze the legs together. Elbows create a little ledge for the thighs and the hip. And as more body weight goes over, maybe the legs come up. You take a breath or 2 more. Good Vinyasa is there. Especially from Kundi, wherever you're at, go ahead. Step your left foot back. Raise your right leg up and out. 3-leg dog. 3-leg flow. High plank to low plank, chaturanga. Pull the chest through into upward facing dog. And then exhale to downward facing dog. Hips up and back. 2 more breaths in that down dog. And here we go. Heels up, knees bend, look to the front. Walks up or jump top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold in. Inhale to stand tall, reach up and stretch up. Now, hands to prayer. Right knee to the chest, up and in. Point the knee down. Take it out the back left, behind the left leg, and start to curtsy a little here. Squat down, arms to a T. Butt comes down, chest comes down. Now, in this shape, I'm going to turn to the side this time. So, if you need a visual, have a look forward. But right knee touches left calf. Hands to prayer. Turn to your left. Hook the elbow around the knee. Take a moment and gently step your right leg back to plant it into twisted lunge. And once you're there, back leg straightens. Turn deeper. Press the palms harder. Breath nice and soft. 1 more long breath here. And sweet relief, hands to the ground. A little short inner stance for pyramid. Straighten through your front leg here. Now, belly pulls in. Tailbone lifts up. Back heel lifts up. Front ball of the foot lifts up. We try and mellow the breath out there. Settle the mind a little bit into the breath. Left hand comes out to the left side of the mat. Right hand grabs the outer blade of that foot. Draw the face across to the outer left leg. Keeping the back heel lifted. Steady breaths here. Oh, yes. That is the one. 2 or 3 more. Big breaths here. And nice and gently. Hands back to center. Crescent lunge. Nice and slow. Bend into the front knee. Chest and arms raised up. Once you're there, squeeze your right butt cheek nice and firm. Interlace hands behind your lower back. Roll back the shoulders and keep them back. Keep them pinned back and start to lower the back knee to hover. Keep the right butt cheek squeezing. Can't stress that enough. Chest lifts up. Couple more generous breaths here. And lower the back knee down. Once you're there, keep the chest lifting. Right butt cheek still squeezing. Back leg, or back foot rather, starting to lift up. Chest still lifting. 2 more big breaths here. Foot down, hands down, half Hanuman fold forward. Look forward. So the trick with this, as soon as you lunge, get the back leg as straight as you can, as stiff as you can, like feel energy kicking out of the heel nice and firm to make it really controllable. So as we're ready here, warrior 3, pounce, lift, hold, T-shape, back leg straight, belly pulls in this shape, reach your arms back like arrowhead. Start to bow forward into standing splits. Breathe with it. Chest coming down, head coming down. If you're stepping back, runner's lunge. Plant the back foot, hands on the ground. Now, right hand moves a little further forward. Turn to your left. Let the knee drop out. Left hand for the back of the mat, Cleopatra. Keep the toes facing the side of the mat as we do this, just the hips. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. So this time, as you lift up, left leg kicks up. Punch it up towards the ceiling. Yes. Come on, bung ankle. Lift, hold. 1 more big breath. And step that left foot to the top of the mat. Warrior 2. Windmill the arms up and open, nice and slow. And as you arrive there, settle into it, suck the belly in, back leg strong. Flip your front palm, reach up and back, straighten through the front leg as you go. And as you reach forward, triangle pose. Create length in the side body, left hand down, right hand up. Half bind on that. Wrap it up and then pull the belly in just a little there. Back leg nice and stable. So really want to feel your side body doing some work here. So turning back the top shoulder, reach the left hand across the belly for the outer hip, hold. Again, not letting the collarbones collapse downwards here, keeping them somewhat lifted. 2 more big breaths as you are. Big breath. And warrior 2. Open the arms, bend the front knee, flip the front palm, reach up and back. And side angle. Elbow to knee or hand to the floor. Right hand up, half bind once again. Wrap it up behind your lower back. Maybe left hand underneath the thigh for a full bind. Again, watch that breath. There's your indicator. Settle into it. A couple more here. Slow and deep. One more big breath. And pull your hands to prayer. Now, I have to go back a little bit. So lift the front ball of your left one. Turn a little to your right, and then drop the butt towards your left heel into Skandasana there. Chest lifts as you arrive. We take 1 more big breath there. Structured arrowhead. So sweep the arms back. 1 straight line from your chest, ankle, or collarbones to heel, and look forward. Pull your left knee to your chest, up and in. Get straight and tall here, belly in. Right butt cheek straight. Straight, more like firm. And then grab a hold of your left big toe. That'd be a terrible sound bite. Raise the right arm up. Kick the heel out in front of you. And hold, breathe, stay hand to foot. 1 or 2 more big breaths there. And then take the left leg out to the left. Start to tilt the chest forward. Gently, gently. Rotate that left leg back. Warrior 3. Step back. Runner's lunge. Hopefully we're all together. Left hand. Right hand raises up. Simple twist. Straight into wild thing. Right foot over the left leg. Step it outside the mat. Lift the hips, turn them. Lift the chest. 2 more big breaths there. Just as we've done. Right leg kicks up towards the ceiling. Step it up between your hands. Skandasana at the other end. Drop your butt to your left heel. Chest up, hands to prayer. Again, still a little deeper into this for just a breath or 2 more before we carry on. Catch your breath. All right, so try it this time. Left hand on the floor, right hand up. Now, half bind, right arm wraps behind the low back. We'll leave that left hand for a little bit of balance. Start to draw your right heel in. Yep. Even if it takes the mat with it, and sit into that squat. Knees can flare out, toes can turn out a little. Full bind if you can, or just stay with your right arm wrapped behind the lower back. Now, I reckon that right foot needs to come directly underneath your sitting bone, foot turning forward, even if the left heel is lifted. And from there, power, stand, press, left leg comes up. Once you're there, find your balance. Broken wing bird of paradise. Otherwise, you're grabbing the left knee, right hand up, right butt cheek squeezes. 2 more long breaths here. And foot to the ground, arms towards the ceiling. Exhale, fold forward, all the way in. Take a halfway lift, lengthen out. Exhale to chair pose. Bend the knees and sink the butt. Chest and arms raise up. Hands to prayer, turn to your left. Good. So sit the butt down towards the heels, little toe standing twisted squat. So this is that side crow, once again. So hands are going to face towards the top of the mat. I'm going to give you a different view this time. So if you imagine my hands are at the top of my mat, just like yours, that little lift of the chest initially. Chest up, hook the elbow around. Armpit is more towards the thigh. Squeeze those knees together. Don't let them lose contact like you have with so many friends recently. Hands on the ground, about shoulder width apart, and start to shift your chest between your hands. As some body weight comes forward, feet lifts up. Maybe you take a breath or 2 more. And if you can, kick your right leg back, step back, 3-leg dog, left leg lifts up, 3-leg flow, high plank to low plank, chaturanga. Inhale, pulls the chest through up dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. And drop down into child's pose or just have a rest for a moment. I'm going to get all the liquids. We have a little pause. We'll have a little crack at some stuff. Interesting things. Two or three more deep breaths here now. All right, have a look towards the screen. We're going to practice the full variation of vishvamitrasana. And I think there's something we can all do. I'm going to give you 2 sort of ways to go about it. The first one isn't far off what you probably already know. So from fallen triangle, right knee, left elbow, back heel down, left hand takes the top of the foot and then start to kick the heel out towards the top of the mat. Left shoulder rolls over the elbow, over the ear rather, and a lot of pressure through that back leg, so nice and strong through the back foot. So here, you might just kick the leg out to the side, and that's cool. Otherwise, we give this one a crack. You got a visual of that one? Welcome to go for it. We give this one a go. All fours, hands and knees. Join me if you'd like to. Right foot steps outside your right hand, and then little turn of the back shin out to the side. I'm going to dive your right shoulder as far underneath your right knee as you can. Give you another view, ESPN here. Right shoulder underneath the knee. Yeah, So pretty deep already, right? So we get that little position there. And we want to there. That little turn in the back shin helps now because foot comes down, knee lifts up, heel comes down. So we've got like a warrior foot at the back. Shoulder is like underneath the knee. Now we go little bit by little bit here. Jump off this path wherever you want to. Front heel lifts up. Front heel lifts up. Right hand is on the floor outside the foot, outside the foot. So the arm is underneath the leg. Left hand takes the top of the right foot, grab the top of the foot for the outer blade, lifting up the leg and squeezing the heel in towards your butt. In, calf to thigh. Maybe from there, left hand raises up, and that's enough, right? Big shape, no doubt. That could do it, right? Maybe you're going to go a little bit further. I'm not going to go further. but I can give you an indication of it. So right shoulder underneath the leg, back. So big shape, obviously, a lot of pressure through that back foot. Now, for those of you that want to go crazy, and I know some of you that are watching, so this is definitely going to be a thing. Maybe it's just something to think about for the future, as somewhere that you might not know that you can go with this. So vishvamitrasana to Vinyasa. If that's the case, you find that vishvamitrasana first. So shoulder underneath the knee, hand outside the foot. We lift the front foot, grab the outer blade, lift the leg. We give it a bit of a hold, whichever variation. Now from there, you hook that leg. Try and take the heel forward as the left hand comes down. The heel goes forward, heel comes to the outer hip as the left shoulder drops, and press a little bit of weight forward in. I'll go one more time. Different angle. Right shoulder underneath the knee. Back heel comes down. Hand on the floor. Front heel up. Visva first. Heel up. Clamp deep. Left hand up. And then tough part. Left hand down. Heel scoops out and around. Push weight forward. Kundi. Maybe. What can I say? Let's do the other side. Left leg. So, something a little bit more reasonable. Remember, you got that falling triangle variation. Left leg, left knee, right elbow. Beautiful, beautiful posture. Strong, focused, flexible. Back heel down, right hand top of the foot, and kick. So a lot of pressure coming through that back leg. Pressing the foot, pressing the foot. Good. Steady breaths. Maybe 2 or 3 more here. Maybe a little crack. I'm sure some of you have got a big old glass of wine. Laughing. Yeah. Here we go. Excuse me again. If you haven't already, go ahead and come down to the knees, kneeling position. Two more big breaths here, just settling the heart rate a little. All right, camel pose. Lift the hips up away from the heels. Might want to tuck the toes, might want to leave them untucked, but either way, squeeze your glutes and butt cheeks nice and strong. To tilt the tailbone down and suck the belly in so the front of the pelvis tilts up, and then from there, roll the shoulders back nice and strong, chin to the chest. That's the last element to happen. Chest up, squeeze the butt, pressing the pelvis slightly forward, chest keeps lifting. If the chin's going to unlock, push the head back, and then tilt the chin open. If hands are going to go for the heels, let it happen. But keep the glutes strong, shoulders rolling back, breath nice and sweet. Keep it mellow, nice and smooth. 2 or 3 more, stay with it. Inhale, lifting up. Again, sit down to the heels. And you might even sit inside your heels. You soften a little here. Hands on the ground, and then coming towards a half pigeon. So downward facing dog, right shin slides up behind the wrists. Give this one a go. You might have a prop if you might have a block. If you don't have a block, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix in hardback will suffice. I doubt it's a first edition, but yeah, around the same size as a block. But we can use that. Step your right foot just behind your left wrist. So you're crossing it over the mat, and then drop the knee straight out to the side. Harry Potter comes under the thigh or the butt, back leg straightens out, and then getting the chest to come down from there. Back bends welcome, no main or king, feel free. Nice long breaths here. Staying nice and smooth with your exhalation. And really letting the shoulders and jaw start to relax now. 3 or 4 more long breaths now. And nice and gently, hands onto the ground. Back into 3-leg dog. Right leg raises up and out. Now, option to practice flip dog there. And I'm just going to show you a slightly different entry to what some of you might be aware of, but very simple entry here. So as you step your right foot down and outside behind the mat, crossing at the legs. Now, as you turn, and wheel starts to happen, squeeze the butt for just one more big breath here. And then unflip, right foot steps outside your right hand, the lizard. Drop your back knee to the floor, let the front knee flare out to the side, and you work into your variation. Another crack, Vinyasa is welcome there, super prepared for it. Otherwise, twisted monkey might be a nice doozy here. So as the right variation that I've been sort of working, this little turn out of the front leg really turned out, just about so you can ground the outer blade of the foot. So really turned out, hips sink in a little here, and then maybe the back foot starts to lift, taking the left hand on. And keep that openness, left butt cheek squeezes, maybe both hands reach. We stay with breath there. We take 2 or 3 more, nice and slow. Little tricky here, little tricky. Hands onto the ground. Now, lift the back knee. I might actually face you to do this. Lift the back knee off the ground, and your back foot steps between your hands to kick it out in front of you. Right knee stays bent. Still in that shape. Right knee's bent. Right foot is right near the hip, so nice and tight up towards your butt cheek. Dive your chest between your legs, so chest is on the inside of your right leg. And go ahead, wrap your arms around. So hopefully, if you're just meeting us, left leg is straight out in front of you, right leg is bent. In this shape, keep the front foot lifted, and then squeeze on your bind, pulling the shoulders back. If you don't quite have the bind, arms out to a T, and roll the shoulders back. So you're still squeezing the arm into the shin to try and pin it back and push the chest forward a little. Let the jaw relax, the eyes relax. Two more big breaths now. Now, if you've got that bind, go ahead, lift the chest and pull the foot up off the ground. Chest lifts, lower back lifts. If you don't quite have the bind, sit up anyway. Wrap your right arm in front of the shin, hands onto the ground, pin the arms back as best as you can. You take 2 more big breaths there. And then release the feet to the ground. About hip width apart, a little bit of space between the butt, hands behind the lower back, reverse tabletop, shoulders back, hips up. Squeeze the butt here, roll back the chest, or roll back the shoulders rather, to reveal the chest. Keep squeezing here. 2 more long breaths. And release. Hips coming down. Welcome to practice a jump back here, but we're going to go either through a flow or directly into half pigeon. So if it's a jump back, maybe blocks all the way back. Oh, that's been a while. And from there, little flow. And we find half pigeon. Left shin slides up behind the wrists. Maybe the left foot stepping outside the right wrist. So you step across the mat. Shin slides up. Shoulders completely release the tension here. Breath nice and full, rich. You're making an impact on the experience you're having with your posture here. And hopefully it's somewhat of a nourishing one, it's a calming one. Maybe 4 or 5 more deep breaths here now. Go through it one more time for that flip dog, but a little more quickly now. So hands onto the ground, left leg up and out, three-legged dog, nice and slow. Let the knee and peel the hip open, and then gently step that left foot down outside the mat. Turn the feet side by side like bridge, drop the butt, and then lift the hip, squeeze the butt, open the chest. 2 more big breaths there. And your shape. So once you're there, you might scooch your back leg a little further back. You might take that twisted monkey, left hand reaching for the back foot. Kind of 2 versions of twisted monkey. You could pull the heel in, hit more of the kind of stretchiness through the quad, through the thigh, the flexion, all that sort of stuff. Or you can sort of start to kick away and open the chest a little bit more, activate, and do the opposite. If you're going to kick away, squeeze your butt. Take maybe a handful of more breaths here. Undetermined number. Keep watching the quality of your breath. Richness to it. And so, back to palms. I'll go one more time. So, back knee lifts up. You might have to, in fact, lift your left hand off the ground. As you look forward, kick your right leg between the arm and the leg and sit your butt down. So, right leg is straight out in front of you, left knee is bent, and then dive the chest forward inside the left leg. There's a little bit of space between the foot and the thigh. Heel is nice and tight to the butt, and then do best for the bind. So arms out to the T first, shoulders roll back, maybe catching hands behind the lower back. And if you do get there, squeeze the shoulders back. Should be quite strong on the fingers themselves if you've got them, or if you're grabbing the wrist, could be quite strong. But shoulder blades squeezing down the back. Spread them down the back. Nice long breaths. Front foot still lifted, thigh squeezing at the front there, the right one. One more breath here. And inhale, chest lifts, foot lifts, keeping a bind, and really try to elevate the lower back. Really try and squeeze back the shoulder blades now. Keep the breath moving softly. If not, just grab a hold of that leg in some manner. One more big breath. And set the foot down. So either, once again, reverse tabletop or full reverse plank. If it's plank, straight legs, point the toes, hands behind the lower back, roll back the shoulders, strong shoulder blades, squeeze them together. As you point the toes, you rock up onto the heels, squeeze the butt, the thigh. Hold in that shape for a moment. Just checking my Buddha. Hold in that shape. Right hand on the floor. Thigh resting on the upper arm. Now left hand across the top of the foot. Kick the heel up and start to roll the left shoulder back. Now lots of actions are happening at once here. We've got the rolling back of your right shoulder. Keep the hip open. The kick of the leg. The straightness of the leg. Do what you can with that. Don't push that one. And then rolling back your left shoulder as you start to peer up to the left side. So a side bend, hip opener, hamstrings getting hit there. Big breaths. Take 2 or 3 more. Stay with it. And gently release. We just take it on to the other side here. So left leg extends, right sole of the foot inside. Chest and arms raised. Up, turn left, fold left. Just coming down otherwise. Compass, please. Left knee comes to the back of the shoulder. Once again, hand comes down next to the hip. And really pin that shoulder back. Right hand takes the top of the foot and start to kick as the arm rolls over the ear. Nice long breaths. Very similar. Vishvamitrasana arm balance, just as we've done. Maybe keep breathing here. Long breaths. Belly expansive with the breath. Keep it rich. Stay for maybe 3 more or so. Good. Yes. And release. Final trick here. Wherever you're at, do your very best to bring the right knee up above the right elbow, maybe towards the back of the shoulder. As high as you can get it, but it's got to be above the elbow joint. From there, hands on the floor, squeeze the calf to thigh. Hook your right ankle over the left one. Now, for some of us, just squeeze the knees together and do your best to try and squeeze, a little bit of body weight forward, and just pop the butt up one time. And then again, just like that, little bum bunny hops, just like that. Or we have a look for this Shavasana, and in very much the same way. You need that little bit of momentum, chest coming forward, squeezing the right leg to the back of the arm, and maybe the chest comes forward and down as you kick firmly out to the side. Now, clamp your knees together to sandwich your arm as best as you can. Try this for maybe 2 or 3 more breaths. Try and breathe with it as best as you can. 1 more. And release. Just quickly, right leg kicks out, left sole of the foot inside the leg, stargazer, left hand behind the hip, lifting up, big squeeze at the butt, roll back the right shoulder, big breath, and release. Here we go, other side. Nice little strong bit. Left leg, back of the left arm. Anywhere above the elbow is fine, but you've got to squeeze that calf in. You've got to clamp hard onto the arm. You're trying not to let your leg slide down your arm. You don't want that. So clamp hard. Right heel crosses the left one. Now, it's a little bit of momentum, but squeeze the legs together as the butt comes up. A little bit of momentum. Squeeze the left knee. Hard bunny hop. Bunny hop squeeze. Maybe out to the left into the full arm balance. Vishvamitrasana. Give it another 2 or 3 breaths. And release wherever you're at. We'll come onto your bum. And go ahead. Scooch to about halfway up your mat. Legs out in front of you. Chest and arms raised. Not long here, 5 breaths or so. Paschimottanasana, folding forward. All the way down, and then really just use it to settle for a moment. It doesn't have to be a strong forward fold. Keep the jaw nice and soft. Shoulders especially soft. Just like 2 more breaths here, that's all. Go ahead, lift up the chest. If you're going to do headstand or you're really prepared for Vinyasa, if you're going to use that as your inversion, now's the time to go forward. Otherwise, grab any version of Harry Potter and roll down to your back, lifting the legs up. And maybe that block or book comes underneath the lower back. Hips stay lifted. If you want to take it up into shoulder stand, now's certainly the time. Elevating the hips with the hands, taking the hips up over the shoulders. And if you're coming up into that shoulder stand, really press the back of the arms to do with the neck. Shoulder stand, head stand. Take some breath here. Nice and slow, rich breath. One or 2 more breaths. And coming out of whatever inversion that you might be in, lowering the legs, lowering the hips, gently, gently out anything that you're doing. We'll meet laying flat on the back in the next couple of moments. No real rush to get there. Do take a sec to lay flat. All right, go ahead, bend the knees. Place the soles of the feet on the ground. Just drop the knees from left to right once or twice. Loosen off a little through the lower back. 2 rounds of bridge pose here. If you want to make one of them wheel or both of them wheel, totally up to you. Bridge pose, feet on the ground. Go ahead, lift up the hips towards the ceiling. Squeeze your butt nice and firm, so glutes are powerful and active. Tailbone starts to point towards the back of the knees. Try and point the tailbone forward, so you're elongating your lower back. In contrast to that, try and keep the tailbone, but try and now lift the back of the heart up a little bit higher. Keep the squeeze. Feel the breath in the belly once again. Maintain the posture. Bring the presence, bring the sensitivity. 2 more breaths. And release. Again, knees drop side to side, left to right. And here we go, pretty much into the next round. So feet on the ground, hip width apart, bridge pose, tilt the tailbone up, lift the hips up. If you're taking up into wheel, maybe hands next to the ears, press the chest up and back. Now wheels, keep your feet pointing straight forward, don't turn them out. Knees, don't let them flail out either. And then try and smooth out the breath wherever you're at. We'll try and take about 3 more here, smooth exhalations as best as you can. And release, coming down nice and slowly. As you get there, again, knee side to side, left to right. And then take an eagle wrap. Right leg wraps over the left one. Drop the legs over to the left into a twist. Let the right shoulder sink down pretty heavy here. Two more breaths there. And inhale back up through the center onto the other side. Left leg wraps over the right one. Eagle wrap. Drop them over to the other side. Again, trying to let the left shoulder sink pretty heavy here. Exhalations nice and smooth and slow. Maybe 2 or 3 more here now. And inhale back up through the center. Unwrap the legs, hug them in towards your chest. Maybe you're finding happy baby for a moment. But within the next couple of breaths, go ahead and let's bring it down into Shavasana. I'm going to guide you through Shavasana, into Shavasana, out of Shavasana. Get a little bit of a crystal ball happening here, so could listen to this or could keep the tunes going as you wish. As you find yourself in stillness, make sure the shoulders are comfortable and go ahead and take a nice long, very deep breath in, soft, gentle breath out. Notice the sensation of the body here. You might experience a sense of buzz, and yet it has infused within it, weaved into it, is a real depth of calmness, a real purity of stillness. Doesn't necessarily mean the body is completely still, the mind is completely still, but it has the quality of stillness to it. And it's this balance, this sort of feeling of energy within that calmness that's most natural. It's this kind of state that makes restfulness a kind of broad perspective, a spaciousness of mind, a rationale, a contentness. Makes all these sort of qualities just a little bit more accessible. It's also a super nice place to rest. See if you can pay attention to the sensations of rest. Heaviness and stillness of the body. Sensations of rest. Let's gently start to deepen the breath. Give yourself an extra moment or two. Externalizing your mind, becoming aware of the space around you. Letting a feeling of energy almost spread through the body, As you feel ready enough, start to wriggle fingers and toes, ankles and wrists, have a stretch, and then start to head up to a seated position, eyes closed. And to do, come up into your seated position, hands at prayer, right at heart center. Take just one little moment of acknowledgement here for the practice, some form of appreciation, some gratitude. Recognize how the practice doesn't affect just your physical body. It affects your state of energy, state of mood, state of mind, perspective. As a gesture of respect to the practice and to each other, we humbly bow the head and say to each other, Namaste. Pleasure and an honor. That was a real challenge for me to talk and do that business. So thank you for bearing with me. That was good fun. I'm really looking forward to this every week. G's going to kick my butt into shape, that's for sure. So yeah, we'll be jumping over onto a different platform as of next week. It won't be on through this sort of live free YouTube. It will be live, however, next week, but it'll be through Patreon. Jump over there. You've got info in this thread on this chat. You can see it on the Here Yoga Facebook page and Instagram, all the socials, all the goddamn time at the moment, which is cool. We can keep in touch. We can keep on doing, and your messages afterwards are just wonderful as well. So thank you so much. You keep going. You keep going. I love you. Namaste. See you soon. Yeah.